Hey, before I get started, go subscribe to Brittany Page's channel. She's within 5,000 subscribers of 100,000. That's a huge accomplishment when you're just starting out a YouTube channel. Very proud of her. She's also guest hosting for Pacman, so if you'd like to see more of her, you can scoot on over to David Pacman's channel and watch that content today. You probably heard about this story. Michael Fanone was on CNN with Pamela Brown yesterday, and he dropped the F-bomb. That's the least of the most important things. All the other things that he said, well, that too, not all the other, as though that's excluding the fuck you Stewart Rhodes as a bad thing. No bleeps in this episode. Spoiler alert, no bleeps for me or for Michael Fanone. But he goes through, there's this narrative right now that the January 6th insurrectionists, these traitors to the country, there was no violence. That it was, it's a protest, just a protest. They can protest. They have a constitutional right to protest. Ignoring the violence. I encountered this from many people the day before the inauguration and the day of the inauguration. We were downtown interviewing idiot Trump supporters. This is a narrative that is entrenched within MAGA. They really believe, or they've convinced themselves, I don't know what level of actual belief they have in it, that January 6th was no big deal. I had some guys tell me, the cops let them in, that there was no violence, there was no destruction of property, there was no attempt to overthrow the United States government. They want us to deny what we witnessed with our own eyes as not being fact. Well, Michael Fanone, in this first clip, it was a long, wide-ranging interview, fantastically done by Michael Fanone. He describes exactly how much violence there was and how these people who are now pardoned, and most of the vast majority of whom have been pardoned, not clemency, but just a straight-up pardon, they can go buy guns, they can go buy ammunition now, they can now fulfill their role in Donald Trump's personal militia. He explains that these people continue to be violent.
And let's talk about who these individuals are, because I want the American people to understand fully. I want every person that comes on CNN and defends these pardons to understand who these individuals were. They are Daniel Rodriguez, an individual who applied a taser device to my neck while I was being restrained multiple times. Daniel Rodriguez admitted his conduct, pled guilty, and was sentenced to 12 and a half years in prison. He is now free. Kyle Young pled guilty, admitted that while I was being restrained, assaulted, and beaten, he attempted to remove my gun from its holster, all while individuals were telling him to kill me with my gun. Thomas Civic, who stripped me of my badge and radio, again, while I was being assaulted and restrained. And Albuquerque Cosper Head, who grabbed me around the neck, pulled me off a police line out into the crowd of these violent insurrectionists, allowing this assault to take place while he yelled out, "I've got one." These are violent criminals whose conduct on January 6th, many of whom pled guilty to and were sentenced to lengthy jail sentences. They are all now free. Make no mistake about it, I am less safe. My family is less safe because of what Donald Trump and the American people who supported him have done.
Even without his words, just witnessing the replay of the footage from that day, it leads me to the question, what the fuck are these idiots, these Trump supporters, these MAGA morons, these conspiracy theorists, what are they watching? Have they not seen any of the footage? Or are they so self-deluded that they've forgotten, or that they've twisted it in their minds that that footage you just watched was not violence, was not an insurrection, was not an armed effort to overthrow the United States of America, the government, and reinsert Donald Trump extra democratically, anti-democratically, back into the presidency? Are they just stupid? This next clip, listen, I got a lot of criticisms for CNN and journalists. It's part of what I do. It's part of what we all should be doing, is having a critical eye toward mainstream media. I should be held to account if I make mistakes, if I say things that are wrong. I cherish it. I invite it. All of us should be held to a higher standard. Pamela Brown did a good job in this. She got him to where he got to tell his truth, tell the truth, explain to the American people in no uncertain terms what exactly is at stake. What are the stakes? What are the consequences of Donald Trump pardoning this mass of goons, this dangerous group that are now in common bond, armed one with another in common cause, in service to Donald Trump. This group of individuals who is willing to do the most extreme thing in the name of Donald Trump. Michael Fanone lays it out.
I mean, listen, these are individuals who assaulted law enforcement officers at the behest of Donald Trump, the president. They are now free. Donald Trump has told the American people, if you commit crimes on my behalf, I've got your back. I will pardon you. I will absolve you of any accountability. What message do you think that sends to Donald Trump's supporters? People like the Proud Boys, the Oath Keepers, the Three Percenters, these violent anti-government groups who Donald Trump has brought into his inner circle. It says, go out there and assault my detractors. Go out there and silence those that would stand up against me, and I will make sure that you are never held to account.
What kind of message does that send? And I don't mean in some large-scale, protracted, militia-type conflict with law enforcement that would happen again, which may happen again. I'm talking about just walking through their normal lives with black restaurant workers or LGBTQ members of the community. Just somebody getting gas has a rainbow sticker on the back of their car. These people are emboldened. They've gotten away with it once. Donald Trump has signaled to them, you can do no wrong. You were wronged, in fact. You're the victim. The government was weaponized against you. You should have been held accountable for doing my bidding, for attempting to put me back in office, even though I lost the election by 7+ million votes. These people are going to be in your communities with their get-out-of-jail-free card. Now, it's not an unconditional pardon for future behavior, but if Donald Trump can forgive insurrection, he can certainly forgive an assault, a hate crime, a silly little hate crime, right? And then here, we'll end with this. This is where she asks if he would have a message for Stewart Rhodes. I don't remember exactly what the question is, but it leads to the answer of, I would say, go fuck yourself to Stewart Rhodes. And I would share in that sentiment.
I believe we have sound from the Oath Keepers leader, Stewart Rhodes, who spoke after he was released from prison. I want to listen to that and then get your reaction to that on the other side, Michael. So let's listen.
Any regrets?
No, I don't, because we did the right thing. We were there to protect Trump supporters from Antifa. We were there to protect and secure 2 permitted events on Capitol grounds where members of Congress were going to speak. The guys that went inside, they're not committing the crimes. In fact, they help people. They help the police and help the people out.
He says he has no regrets. What do you say, Michael?
Yeah, I mean, this is what I would say to Stewart Rhodes. Go fuck yourself.
Okay.
You're a liar.
We didn't obviously get to beep that word out, but obviously this is personal to you, Michael. This is very personal to you.
Pamela Brown. Like she's never heard the F word. Whoa, she got jolted with electricity. It is laughable. Good for you, Michael Fanone. Good job. It is laughable that Stewart Rhodes would contend that we're there to protect Trump supporters from Antifa. You know, Antifa that was at the Trump rally. He's a liar. He is a liar, and he should go fuck himself. But how is he going to protect anybody when he can't even protect his own eyeball from his own weapon that he's cleaning? I talked about this in an earlier video because he was up in the Capitol yesterday. And this is a headline from Sky News. Man who wears eye patch after shooting himself with his own gun convicted over Capitol riot. Stewart Rhodes is such a dullard that he shot his own eye out. It's like the Christmas Story or whatever that movie is with that now Trump supporter kid. You're going to shoot your eye out. And by the way, yeah, that kid is a Trump supporter. He was at Donald Trump, all of the inaugural events, along with Vince Vaughn and a bunch of other dipshits. So good on Michael Fanone. We need more like Michael Fanone. You need to embody some of these characteristics. If you have the demeanor, the temperament to do so, we need more people to tell these people to go fuck themselves. Again, no bleeps. What do you think? I invite you to this conversation. We can talk about it below. You can also call the voicemail line 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me as always, daily@dollemore.com. Thank you for your engagement. Thanks for subscribing to the channel. If you're looking for another channel to subscribe to, once again, Brittany Page, some very good stuff. And you could do her the good, great honor, or the great good honor, or whatever the turn of phrase is, of getting her to 100,000. She does very, very good work. I aspire to be more like Brittany Page. Anyway, I love and appreciate you. I will see you next time. Be genuine. Take care of one another.